I'm just curious, kind of, you now have about half a season, a little more than that, in the books. How do you feel like the evolution of the offense has been in terms of this transformation, what you're trying to do? And
We're getting there.
kind of what you like and what you still think is a kind of work in progress?
Yeah. Obviously by the numbers, we ran the ball really well last week. And so I think our run game has been good. I think we're really multiple in our run game. I think there's a lot of things that they have to defend when you put the tape on, whether it's the, JP and the running backs running the ball out of just a straight run look. All the different formations that we're giving them, different motions. The ability of James to pull the ball and be a viable weapon pulling the ball. Really put, Miami into some disadvantages when they were trying to, defend some of the run game. I think the option game has been good. Had a huge pickup on a fourth down where we ran speed option and had a really good play there. So there's a lot of different things that they have to defend. I think the O-line has done a really nice job of understanding, blocking angles and who they're blocking. And then I think you still have to add some of the RPO game in there. We had a few of them wired up against Miami on Saturday. We missed them early. And I think that James has to just get more comfortable throwing those RPOs. I think we had a lot of success handing it off, so he was like, heck, I'm just going to keep giving the ball to these guys. I don't need to throw the ball out there. But there was a few situations in the middle of that game where he just took off and ran it. And he's electric when he runs with the ball. So there's a lot of different variables there in the run game. I'm happy with that. Between our offensive staff, that we do a tremendous job of scheming up the run. Brent spends a ton of time, really dissecting everything in the run game and, putting all the different packages together. So, it's been a really good collective effort there. I think, we're still inconsistent throwing the ball. We have not been airing the ball out. I think we would like to be able to air the ball out a little bit more, but, in a lot of situations we're playing, run offense, play action off of it and throwing the ball quick, getting the ball out of their hands. Across the board, we have to do a better job of executing in the pass game, throwing the ball down the field, taking the shots when they're there. Like we did on Saturday, we threw one. Amarian made an unbelievable catch against Miami, but we have to be more consistent being able to do that. You're going to run into some teams in some weeks where it's going to be a little bit tougher running the ball, where there's either schematically or by the guys that we're playing, it's going to be a little bit tougher to run the ball, and you got to be able to take advantage if they're going to play some man coverage to throw the ball down the field and make some plays. And really what we talked about in the pass game with those guys all of that Miami week was playmakers make plays, man. If you get a ball and you're in a situation to make a play, you got to win your one-on-one battles. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that. But I think we have to be more consistent, being able to throw the ball on throw downs and come up with it.
The last bye week, you kind of talked about how the focus of the week was really stepping back and stripping everything down and kind of going back to the basics of installing fundamentals. How did this bye week differ, considering kind of the steps that have been made since then?
I think similar, except we didn't go all the way back. We kind of went halfway back. And, the things that we were doing well, just kind of kept expanding the packages of the things that we're doing well. Last week was more about the younger guys and the development of the younger guys. Some of the older guys were just banged up, and we just said, hey, you're going to come out here and you're going to have your spider pads on and you're going to run around, and we're not going to bang you around a whole lot, and sit in the meetings, do the things that you need to do, to stay focused mentally, but really, try to get healthy, rehab, work out. Let's not lose our strength. Let's keep our bodies right. So that was a big piece of it, and the development piece for the younger guys was really, really good. And then more film work and more mental pieces, trying to take the load off of them physically. And then, we talked about when we came back, one of the reasons why we were successful in that overtime was when we felt that the game was in the balance, we went and took the game. And there was a little bit of a sense of desperation and a sense of we have this and we could go get this win, and we have to find that again. You can't be complacent because you got to win, and then you had an off week, and then you just think you've arrived. Right? It's right back to work. Great work day today, and now we're back ramped up into game week. And Coach Collins did a tremendous job of managing the piece of let's get better. let's, stay sharp with our older guys, but let's not bang them around. Let's get the young guys developed.
You mentioned about, getting the ball out quickly when you're playing a team like Pitt, who has a reputation for getting a lot of sacks. Is that something you're looking for from James this week?
I think we're looking for that every week. These guys defensively are really, really good. Right? They're in the top 15 in the country for a reason. They have really good personnel. Schematically, they are very challenging. They are very stout. They're in the right gap on every play. They're never caught out of a gap. They're very sound. They will run blitz you on first and second down. So they're gonna push you out of the pocket, and they're gonna make it such that they're always gonna try to outnumber you in the run game. So the early rundown runs, we're gonna have to be patient. You're gonna have to pound the ball in there. And you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to take the 3-4-2 yard runs, and then eventually JP is going to break one, or James is going to pull one, and we're going to break one. But that being said, if you're trying to overload the run game, you have to be able to get the ball out, throw quick game, throw screens, throw nakeds, and take some shots. And it's got to be a good mix of both, and that's what we've tried to be overall. And when you watch this on third down against Miami, we threw a lot of quick game. So the ball, we threw a little stick route to Tobias, and he whipped it around and got a first down. We threw one in the flat for a first down. We ran it on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, which was really good for us. So it's got to be a combination of all of that stuff. We're just, we're still developing as a pass protection group. And when you break them down from a pass game perspective, you do not want to be in 3rd and long against Pitt, because it is a bee's nest of dudes running around. And they have a very, very, very good third down pass package on 3rd and long. You got to stay out of it. And you have to have a few simple ways to be able to attack it, because if you try to block everything that they bring, you won't block anything. So you have to have a few things that you can do really, really well, and we'll have a few things up our sleeves.
Two questions. One, kind of given what you're saying, and what Andrew's saying about how great it was to have the offense controlling the ball for 10 minutes per quarter, is that kind of where you're going? And then second, I had a question for you about Jordan Mason, just particularly his ability, his vision, and his ability to break tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really strong. I'd be curious just for your comments about.
Yeah, I think you have to play good team football, and the greatest part about what we did against Miami was we were able to control the clock, made a concerted effort to run the ball out of a multitude of different looks. It wasn't just, hey, we're going to line up in 2 tight ends and just try to pound the ball down your neck, right? I mean, we gave the ball to Mason, and you had all the auxiliary runs off of that. And, Jemias played well and Jerry played well. So, we have a good group of those guys. But in the same respect, we spread people out, and we were bringing, Tobias in motion and handing him the speed sweep, and, trying to be spread, 2 tight ends, 2 backs, giving them different looks. And then, take your shots off of that. And I think that is a good recipe. And you have to be able to establish the run no matter what. And we've talked in the past, historically, we've been a 50-50 run-pass team. And, with this group of dudes, that's been a good formula for us. When we've been able to establish some run, get the ball downhill, and make people put extra guys in the box to be able to stop the run, then it gives you some opportunities to get into one-on-one situation. Against Miami, they were playing a lot softer coverage. They were playing 2 high safeties, and they were not, necessarily overloading the box every play, so that they gave us a few more run looks than some teams have. And then JP in general is awesome. He's awesome. Thank God we have him. He makes me look really good, and I call it run on 3rd and 5. He makes 3 guys miss, and the TV guys are like, oh, what a call, it's running it on 3rd down, it's like, he's our best guy, let's give it to him type thing. And then I think the other thing that's sometimes hidden is Jeff does a really good job of saying, hey, you have 4 downs here, you have 3 downs here, we're going to punt it, let's run it here. You got, so once we get on their side of the field, there's great communication going on by the staff of saying, okay, you can run the ball here because on fourth down, if we could get it to this, we're going for it, all right? Or, hey, hand the ball off, we'll punt them in, or, hey, we're going for it here, we need it, whatever. So a lot of the calls are based on that, and being able to give JP the ball in those situations, is certainly a benefit. And then when we got in the overtime, we were giving him the ball, and he, I saw some crazy statistics online at some point, but he just makes people miss. He has an uncanny ability to see people coming out of his peripheral vision and then just kind of slide by a guy. He's not like a little scooter type of guy that's like just makes people miss, and you're like, whoa. But he knows how to move his body. He knows how to hit the ball. And the thing that he's done better over the last, maybe even 3 weeks is he's finishing with his pads going towards the goal line on every play. And that's something that Tashar does a tremendous job with all of those backs of, we never finish going sideways. We finish with our pads going towards the goal line, and that's how you break tackles, right? You split people, you get your pads down, and, you make them arm tackle you, and then you break the arm tackles instead of trying to jump around tackles and things like that. So the group has done a really good job with that, but JP just has a natural fit for that.
Anything else for Coach Patenaude? Take two more, go Tori and Rob.
Coach Collins is talking about the quarterbacks being servant leaders. Can you kind of speak to what it is that you kind of teach them in regards to that, and what more examples are of that?
Mm-hmm. I think one of the cool examples that Coach Collins has talked a lot about to our guys, to the quarterbacks specifically, is Dak Prescott. And, he was the first guy in the building. He was the last guy to leave. Nothing was ever anybody else's fault. If something went wrong, he would say, hey, that's my bad, I got it. It was probably somebody else's fault, but he was never going to put it on anybody else. He was never going to point a finger at anybody else. He was never going to say, well, the O-line didn't do this, or the wideouts didn't do that, or, the running back didn't do that. It was like, everything is my responsibility. Everything, I'm the guy that's got to lead this thing. And so when you get that point, now people will look at you as a calming influence, and you say, look, we got this thing. And really, the thing that I think has stood out for really all the guys, but specifically James, because he's been playing the majority of the snaps, is that his maturity level off the field and all of the other things outside of football is really amazing. I mean, his what he's done in the classroom is awesome. His understanding of who he is and who he wants to become is great. He's more comfortable in his own skin. He's more comfortable being out there as a guy, and just he has a natural jovial personality, and he's a natural born guy to he's not afraid to stand in front of the group. But it's also to the point of, look, it's not about me, it's about we, and I have to be able to do my part for the benefit of what we're doing. But if you're a leader and you put your guys for everybody first before you, that's when true leadership happens. It's not about, hey, I scored a touchdown and I'm standing on top of the table waving the towel. It's like, all right, let's just go to the next play. Hey, great block. Or if something goes wrong, it's okay. Let's get it back together, and we're going to get it coached up, and so there's more of a level of still a level of excitement, because he's still a young dude, but a level of calmness and confidence that's starting to creep over that whole group. And the more they see things and the more they develop, the more that will develop.
Pitt's strong safety and free safety are 1-2 on the team in tackles. Is that a result of their skill set or what they try to do schematically?
Both. The boundary safety is really athletic dude, and they wire everything for him to make tackles. So the way that they play defense, the short side safety is basically a linebacker. The two inside linebackers, they don't really care if you're throwing it. They're going to come downhill and try to create chaos. If they see you pass read, they'll drop out. But that backside safety, they're scheming things to get him into the run fits. And the same thing with the outside linebacker to the field. So the overhang linebacker to the field kind of cheats in the box, and the weak side safety kind of cheats in the box. So you have the 6 guys in the box plus those 2 really playing run. So it's always an 8-man fit, And then that backside safety, they blitz him a lot. So he's not only just coming down into the run fit, they're bringing the linebacker blowing up the run fits, and then having him stacking behind him. So a lot of times you'll see him on the backside. He's only 8 or 9 yards deep. So people are trying to throw over their heads and read them and all of those type of things. But he's not just going to be back there at 18 or 20 yards hanging out. He's going to be down in the mix on rundowns. Conversely, the field guy, because they pack the box, everybody's trying to get the ball on the edge somehow. So he has to rally and make plays with, whether it's a run or a pass on balls on the edge. So he gets a lot of opportunities to make tackles. The one thing about this group is they are a very, very sure tackling team. The two safeties, the reason that they are where they are is because they wrap and tackle. They're very difficult to, just shake and make that kid miss. You may make a miss, but he's going to get you on the ground for the most part. So it's going to be a great challenge. You guys are really, really good. It's going to be a fun day.